Do we look at you or do we look in the camera? That's the question. I am used to looking into the camera, but since we're doing a podcast vlog, we're going to look into the camera and say, welcome to another vlog, a podcast vlog. So now we're going to switch over. I've watched Joe Rogan. I know how to do this.
Oh my God.
Not.
Yeah, it's actually the first time that we are actually doing something like this. Also the first time for me actually shooting something like this. So it's very strange, actually.
It's very, very, I've never done a podcast ever.
Yeah, I know. And actually, we got quite a lot of requests of people wanting you to be on their podcast. And then we were like, you know what? We do it ourselves.
Yeah. And I still feel weird. I feel like I should be looking into the camera. But, I got to get into podcast tune.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I got questions of being on podcasts a million times. But I never used to listen to podcasts ever.
Yeah.
I would just go like hammer down on motivational speeches, music. And I didn't really take the time, but now lately I've tried to find peace of mind in life, and then podcasts can be really good. So then I started listening to quite a few, both history, financials, but also like personal development. So now I'm a podcast guy. So then we should make a podcast vlog, and if people don't hate it, maybe we'll do more.
Yeah, we will see.
This is like just a test.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that we're almost on like a daily vlog schedule, we need different types of content. Like back in the day when we did a daily vlog for a year, it was like, what do we do now? Oh, a black and white vlog.
But I love them. I actually love that you guys weren't so creative with everything. I really like that.
We did go all in. I'm still tired, and that's 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
How many years ago is it?
Actually, you started doing daily vlogs 2016, so it is actually more than 6 years. It's gonna be 9 years.
God, I'm getting old quick.
Oh wait, I'm really bad with math. Apparently, it's 7 years actually.
7 years ago.
Yeah, counting.
When I was young and promising, up and coming, had energy, and here I am.
But I'm actually
father of two, with currently 4 kids at home, constantly exhausted, not traveling to tropical islands every other week. But I think that's the beauty of getting kids kind of late and haven't had the life that I've had, that I have zero FOMO. I think that's why people think I'm at home arrest at home. Yeah. Because I never leave, because I don't have anything that I feel like I'm missing out on, which is nice.
I think since I've been like working with you for over 4 years now, I really felt like Benny and Marcus, that had more exciting stuff than me. Like I'm looking after kids, like changing
building
diapers.
Playgrounds.
Yeah. Oh my God! But it's been really fun, and I actually, I have learned quite a lot from being around you guys, and I really am super happy to be still working with you.
We're learning, but in the spirit of podcasting, what is the number one worst day of your working as a cinematographer for the vlog? Ooh. Pick the worst day.
So the worst day, and I think it's been a few. I mean, obviously I went with you guys through a divorce, and I mean, it's, Yeah,
we're not talking worst half year. We're talking like worst day.
Worst day actually was, I will say, yes, for sure, when we went up to that park, like kids were going mad in the morning. I think both were kind of sick, and then we went up there in Paphos, to that park where they had this high playground, and we were both so tired, and you didn't sleep. I think I was also not 100%, and then we decided to take the kids out. So it was nothing to do with cameras, actually. It was just like me going through a tunnel, like 5 meters up on the air with Leon. Like it was a bit of a push. But like from my work standpoint, I think I'm never had. Oh yeah, oh my God, how could I forget the Porsche trip? Of course.
I was gonna say, you should be able to think of something painful.
This was pretty painful. Like when we picked up the Porsche in London and tried to drive it to Cyprus. I think I never ever been this tired. Like I had so much caffeine that I literally fell asleep while filming you.
Yeah, you stopped, like you weren't able to talk, communicate. Yeah. Like we were both on 10 Red Bulls each. I mean, we're driving 2,000 kilometers 2 days in a row, sleeping on a ferry.
And all the other...
That was that was a good
crazy
push.
That was a crazy push, like beyond whatever I experienced. But I also, every time I talk to people, I like to tell the story, because I remember like the day before you more or less broke your kneecap. Then I had to put you on a wheelchair, push you through Hillthrow, and then we picked up the car. And it was not like that you actually were able to drive, to be honest. Like
No, it's hard to do the clutch and everything. But that's the painful thing, that whatever creates a memory that you tell your friends for the next couple of years, it's usually not smooth sailing type life.
No, 100% not.
It's like whatever is really painful usually creates the best memories.
I couldn't agree more. That's just how it is, to be honest.
Because that was good memories.
It was. Did we have summer tires and we went like through Austria in Innsbruck and everything was snowing and then
no, it was snowing in Greece.
Oh, it was snowing in Greece. Yeah. Oh my God. See, like I have such a hard time remembering this because on one side I had to do my job, on the other side we also had to figure out logistics. Then we get the flat tire on the autobahn. Like it was. It was.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there in my top 5 most painful.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, I feel honored.
Yep. No, we've gone through most things.
Yeah. So what are we gonna talk today?
I figured. I mean, we could probably talk for. I feel like with the vlog, I was always so focused on what creates views. Whatever new car or extreme something would give views. So then, you know me, so I like to think and talk and analyze.
Yeah.
But that was not really given the best views.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I feel like it's fun to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can do this. And if we have 50 or 100,000 people listening, then I like being able to tell a story that's a bit deeper, not as high pace as a regular vlog.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're going to talk about is everything. Yeah, we're going to try. I mean, now that we have more time, we can go into more depth and we're going to try to censor, be more open.
Yeah, I really like that because I think there's so many, I will try to cover the most important questions that I also think I would have as a viewer. But it's a lot. It's really a lot because I feel like it would be different if you would be just into cars. Then we talk about cars everywhere, and it's so hard to kind of bundle everything together. Like yesterday, I was looking, just through questions, and I went on Google, and it's so funny to see it. What people kind of.
Yeah, what do you think is the most? What's the one thing that people would find the most interesting?
I actually think the most interesting thing would be your investments.
What is Jonolsson's net worth?
Yeah, exactly. I Googled that, and apparently you are worth $8 million.
On Google?
On Google, yeah. $8 million. And you're on place 79 on the richest people in Sweden. So you should...
Yeah. There's got to be a lot more people.
I'm telling you.
Now it's got to be hundreds that are 10 million plus.
Nope.
Well, it's Google.
That's Google, yeah. And maybe it's also not even accurate, but it was interesting.
It also says that I want to be a stuntman.
Yeah, exactly. I also read that. I was like, it's quite interesting what people... And also, there's people were really discussing, how did you make your money? How could be that he's so rich and everything? So
I've seen that throughout the years.
It's so interesting.
It's one of the most entertaining comments that I read through.
Yeah.
I usually never reply because it's just fun to see someone's like, it's got this and that. And then but he made a sponsorship with... ski sponsor, or made his money with ski sponsorship back in the day, and it's quite entertaining.
I think that's really so that's actually the number one thing I think what people really would like to know, and also how it was about all that vlogs lifestyle and how actually you all the luxury that you showed in your vlogs, how did that even come to life, etc. So I think investments, vlogs, of course we have to talk about your cars. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'd say, let's do this podcast here, see if people hate it or like it, and then we can do hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's up to you guys whether we are doing more of this. I kind of enjoy it.
I also really enjoy it because literally this is how we would talk more or less without headphones and stuff, but we talk a lot about investments and in general life, and I think it's interesting. To me it's nothing strange.
I do talk a lot about a lot of things that we usually don't touch on the vlog.
No. So I'm actually really excited. But let's start with the YouTube aspect. And I really actually... did you know that I sent you actually, I think a few days ago, I don't know if you saw it or not, maybe Leah checked your phone, I don't know. But I saw that you made 1 million euros on your YouTube channel since you started. And the real peak was actually really when you started daily vlogs. So did you know that?
No, I didn't actually see that.
Yeah.
So was it €1 million in ad revenue?
Yes.
Since the start?
More or less since the start.
Since 2007.
Yeah, since 2007. Yeah, exactly.
I would have thought it was more.
Really?
I mean, yeah, maybe not.
But on the other side, I also think
mean,
it's
million
different.
euros.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of
Since
money.
2007, so it's closing in on 20 years, well, say 15, 16 years.
But I think as
That's a lot of work.
But you're
like comparing it.
Yeah, comparing
say
it.
That, okay, so say that it was €1 million for all the vlogs that we did, which was the amount of work that went into that. I mean, just the 1 year of daily vlogs, and then another year of every other day, and then another year of 3 times a week. And then I compare that to the Marbella house, which also gave me a profit of €1 million. So owning a house and then, well, fixing it up.
Yeah.
So having a house in the sun for a couple of years and then making €1 million, that was a lot. So it's interesting when you compare things. It's like you can work so hard and make a certain amount. And then if you're working smarter, then that can be helpful. But I think what I was good at with real estate is seeing the possibilities.
Yeah.
Like with that house, that was for sale it was a Casa Castle. Because that was for sale for a while. And it was just kind of an odd house. Like, you know, how so it was like a downstairs kitchen, upstairs kitchen, and like all this. And I think what I'm good at is seeing what something can be.
Yeah, 100%.
Like seeing past the issues.
Yeah.
No problem. And then not being, I mean, whenever I buy a house or a car or whatever, I always look at, all right, what could I invest or how should I invest into this investment in order to make it better?
Yeah.
And so with that house, that was, looking back, maybe I should be in real estate instead of vlogging because the amount of work that it took to. But of course, with YouTube, ad revenue is one thing, collaborations is another.
It's another,
Which we should have done like a lot more.
Yeah.
Like daily vlogs, we barely did any collabs.
Barely. I think with Benny at the end, you kind of started like doing more collabs. Like I think with Marcus, there was barely any collabs. And I also will say that
we didn't have time. It was like we were so focused on making good content that we got like collab like, nah, we don't have time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a collab can pay as much as 30 vlogs.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can almost do daily vlogs for a month or film a minute for a collab. So looking back, I kind of wish I maybe did every other day, put some collabs in there.
But you also just did it more of enjoyment and because you guys were stoked, because you are really...
Well, it was never about the money.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I think that's why the €1 million is, compared to your house in Marbella, really a huge difference, yes. But at the same time, like one thing was really also like the love of cameras, like because you are such a camera nerd as well. And then you just love to travel, so you kind of connect everything. So one thing was passion and the other thing was, but designing and stuff, you are really good with that stuff. So I think both are kind of passion, but the one was definitely more overtaking than your house redesigning, remodeling, renovating.
Yeah, I mean, I think I always like doing things good, and if you do things well, then usually the financial gains will come at the end. And I mean, with the vlog, it was about money because I wanted to try to figure out how I could secure a financial future after skiing.
Yeah.
So it's funny, it really was about the money, but then when we were doing it, it really wasn't about the money at all.
So you also had no sponsors when you started and stuff?
Well, I mean, I had my ski sponsors, but not collabs as you have today.
So you paid everything out of your own pocket? Like all the travels, like all the first class and everything?
Yeah, it was an expensive life.
Oh my God.
I mean, we were flying to a different continent every 3 days, and then...
Yeah, I remember that vlog when you guys came from Whistler to LA, and then like 2 days later, oh, you know what, now we're actually flying to Tokyo.
Yeah, and then what I'm really good at is like, if I want something, say I want to fly first class, I'll be like, it's good for the vlog. So this is really a business decision. Because I've always spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm very good at spending. So luckily I'm good at making money. Because if I would have just saved all the money, that would have been nice.
I mean, this is...
But then I wouldn't have kept making money. So I think I'm good at allowing myself to spend money so that I can keep making money. But that's a balance that's very tricky. Because it's like, do I really need another car? Or do I want another car? Do I want it for the vlog? Do I want it for me? And yeah, that's something I'm trying to figure out.
And you also, because one thing that you more or less showed throughout the vlog was Douchebags, your backpack company. When did you start that?
Yeah, that was an even better plan than building a house. We started Douchebags, I think, 12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years, yeah.
Me and Truls started the company we met surfing in Stadlandet in Norway. And he was at entrepreneurial school. And he's like, where did we have the exam projects? Do you have any ideas of things? Maybe we can do something together. And at that point, I was just traveling with skis and ski bags. And I really didn't like the bags. And I was like, ski bags, they can be better. And it was like, it was the first idea we discussed. And it started everything directly. And I think he was really the best person I could have met to do it with, because we were complementing each other perfectly, so that I was really focused on the look, the design, brand image, and sort of how it would be perceived also from, user standpoint as well. Whereas he was really good with finding the right factory, setting up the company, putting a board together with experienced people, and really making it a real company. Because even though I've started a lot of companies, my strength is still the same.
Yeah.
So, starting it was incredible, because we made a bag that most pro skiers in the world thought was good enough, so that they wanted a bag for free.
Oh, wow.
So we got pretty much the entire world elite in skiing to want the bags and using them for free.
Wow. That's insane.
So
that, I guess, also helped you to really kick off that company in the right direction as well.
Yeah, without any real investments, which is why, say making €1 million with YouTube revenue.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. A lot of work.
Yes, I know.
Making $1 million with a house, a lot of work, maybe more risk, because we had to invest quite a bit.
Yeah.
But then starting with a company from scratch, difficult, but that has for sure been the best investment of my life.
I guess you also helped Douchebags at the time when you started with daily vlogs a lot as well, because I think, from being more or less like a ski brand, you, I think, also lead the company to a transition to actually go also into lifestyle, more traveling, not being just on the mountain, just skiing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where I saw the business opportunity was not a sports brand, not a fashion brand, but I felt that there wasn't any bags that sat between the two. So that you had sort of the look and brand feel of a street fashion brand, but the technicality of a sport brand. So kind of finding that middle ground. And I think the reason the company was so successful was that we found that middle ground, and Truls made everything else work, and production, factories, like all this stuff.
But so you guys started off as a normal startup, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, like no outside investment, no nothing.
Wow.
And then Innovation Norway was supporting the project, because in Norway you can apply for some support from them.
Okay.
But in terms of the company, we started with making a profit more or less directly small, but then built on.
Wow.
And now when I go to Norway with Nette, I walk around, I'm like, 50% of every bag I see in the country is a douchebag, or DB as it's now called.
I also noticed that when I had to bring your damn key to Oslo, and then we went to this whatever it's called.
Amusement park.
Yeah, amusement park, yeah. And then I was like, I told you, there are bags everywhere. It's insane. And I really think that you and your vlogs definitely pushed the brand I think in a different scale, because you did this not only just for 1 year daily vlogs, you are having over 1,000 vlogs on your back.
I mean, I think it was perfect for where the company was at that point, because we were using the bags daily, like every single day. We would test, people would see them, and they were great. They're fantastic bags. And then that ended up being sort of getting a lot more influencers, photographers, filmers, other action sport people using the bags. But then I think you can only reach to a certain point with brand image and that type of movement. But then to go further, then you need the company structure.
Yeah.
And that's where I mean, I always like working with companies when they're smaller, because I can be cuckoo me and like when it gets too big and too structured, it gets too slow for how I like to do things.
Yeah.
So then what Truls and the whole team has done sort of since I stopped working that tight with it, they've really, I'm the first to say that they've done an incredible job.
Yeah. I mean, and
unfortunately, because I sold a lot of my shares.
I was about to say, like, do you even know?
So douchebags is my best investment.
Okay.
It's also my worst financial decision.
Oh my God.
Because was it 5-6 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm not working on it on a daily basis. Like I want to put my money somewhere where I work with it directly. So I was like, all right, I want to sell big chunk of shares because I want to build a boat.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's
so
another
then I spent
topic.
a couple $1 million building a boat, thinking, well, maybe I can probably sell it for a bit more, so I make a good profit. If I would have not built the boat, those shares would have probably been, say, 20 million now, euros.
You're kidding.
So I could have not built the boat, kept the shares. If I sold them now, I could have bought a 20 million euro boat.
Oh my God.
Scheisse. Like
so that's why I get it. You said it's the best and the worst.
I still did 1,000x on my initial investment, but it's still the worst financial decision I did to sell a big chunk of shares there. Luckily, I still have shares, so...
that's crazy. The company is not even old either, so that's insane. 1,000x.
Yeah, but they really did a fantastic job, and you get older, you learn, and what I've learned is the longer your time horizon is on investment, the better off you're probably going to be.
Yeah, it's sometimes pretty hard to listen to you when I talk about like cars or investments that I want to do. And then it's like, you're telling me, I'm Moaci, but look more into this, do more of this. And I'm like, but look at you. I'm like, this is so hard because I know you're so matured throughout the years, also like knowing what kind of investment you are looking more into. And then when I come with ideas, I'm like, but this is like, you also been cuckoo. So I also want to be cuckoo.
Yeah, but I'm trying to help you not be as cuckoo as me. I mean,
exactly.
I've started companies that didn't work at all because I had no idea.
Yeah.
I started, I don't know how many companies, but the older you get, the more you learn.
Yeah.
Actually, the worst investment I did was the Playland.
Oh my God, yes, that was definitely the worst investment.
Just to chip that in there. It's like 100%. Playland was cheap.
Yeah.
The transport was 4 times the cost of the Playland, and then it costed me 6 months of being annoyed.
Yeah, but also the other tool that you have at home is the snowcat. Do you think this was a good investment? I mean, who has a snowcat at home on his own private property?
I mean, it was good for the vlog, right? That's my excuse for everything. Like, but a snowcat, that's going to be great for the vlog.
Oh my God.
Not really worth the investment.
Yeah.
But I have a snowcat.
Yeah.
And a snow gun.
Hearing this and knowing that I also have filmed this is like, I just think sometimes that's why I also love working with you, because we always do something different. And lately it's been like a lot actually, going to Bostad, to a luxury car event, then to, of course, also building a slide, which really annoyed. It was really a lot of work. Like, people will not understand how much work this was.
It was so painful.
It was really painful, putting like 150 screws together and making sure everything aligns. But then also, like, looking back, I would really like to talk about your boat. So how much did your boat cost?
Close to 2 million euros.
And you really built this all more or less like from the ground up? So
Bernico, which is a company out of Belgium that did, racing boats. Mm-hmm. They know like hull design and speedboats better than most people. So I loved their whole design, because the whole thing with the boat started with me being in Monaco thinking, I should have a little boat in Monaco. Like, that would be nice. And then you have Monaco Yacht Show, which quickly turns a little boat into like, I need a serious boat.
Oh my God.
So then I went out and tested a bunch of different boats, and I kept like, but why isn't it like this? Why isn't it like this? And then I went out with the Bernico, and we're doing 50, 60 knots on waves, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is what I need to build my boat on. So then I decided that I wanted to build a boat together with Bernico because they knew everything from like the water line down, and I had a million ideas of
How it should look like.
yeah, like functionality wise, aesthetics. Obviously, I had no experience in boating, but I like to think that I'm quite good at trying to figure out how you can solve tables. I was looking at how do you use the space, because my whole idea with the boat was that I want a speedboat, because speedboats, they're good in waves, they're more fuel efficient in medium speed, but they don't have any functionality.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of build a combined cigarette boat with a wally yacht. Like, so you have the day boat feeling, but with the technicality or the performance of a cigarette. So then we're like, yeah, sweet, awesome. First we're going to have diesels. Then like, but maybe Mercury Racing engine, like 860s. But they have 1100s. But they have 1350s. They have 1550s. Oh my God. So in the end, I went a bit all in, to say the least. It's one of those things. I don't really regret selling douchebag shares so that I could build a boat, because it's something that I will be proud of when I'm 70.
100%.
Like, when I'm old, I look back and think like, you know what? I was pretty badass, like taking the risk to be like balls to the wall and building my dream boat. What I didn't calculate in was the fact that I ended up getting kids while the boat was being built.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not the most kid-friendly boat.
No, it's not.
So I'm still like, because we've had quite a few people that have been like super close to buying it.
Yeah.
But then in the end, it's been one or the other, because it's usually like super yacht owners that are like...
Or the
have to beep that. But yeah, I'm back and forth. It's like, and then I'm like, all right, if I sell it, I want to build a boat. And then I'm like, no, okay, I don't want to build a boat. I want to buy a boat. But then I can't find something I want to buy, so I'm going to end up in the same place I started with and probably build another one.
I really would like that the people could see our chat sometimes. When you get an idea, I get 500 ads of boats, for example, and then we went
like
all in.
Battleships.
Yeah, exactly, battleships, and they're like, how about this, and then like the next day it's like, no, actually I really would like to have this, and it's like 7 million euro boat that has like, I don't know, you need your own staff on this, and you're like,
I don't want staff.
Exactly, it's like, well, you have always the craziest ideas, but I also will say that since I've been on the boat quite a few times and had a lot of experience with you, good and bad, I guess it's really an art piece. Like, I will tell you that again, like, this is so inspiring to see that also for me as a filmer, because it's not just like you buy something, for example, you buy a car and that's awesome, but like the fact that you built and designed it more or less from the ground up, and then this is also an interesting story. Like, you told me the day before we're not gonna shoot, and then at 7 a.m. you're like, Moaci, I hope you charged everything. Like, meet me there. Like, and yes, we also booked a helicopter with a Cineflex on it. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, that was last minute.
Yes, it was super last minute. I remember that, and I told Benny, I told Jeremy, like, hey, we have to get going.
Yeah, because I didn't know whether the boat was coming, because it was like some truck traffic issue in Germany or whatever. And then when it's coming, I'm like, we need a helicopter. Cineflex? Yes, absolutely. Good for the vlog.
Oh my God, yeah.
What was that? 10 grand for like an hour. Like,
But it was crazy. Like, that's also...
That was a cool day.
Yeah, it was. This is actually one of the best days, like filming-wise, I think. Even though it was so last minute, but just the experience we all had on the boat and seeing the boat really in real life, because we
you're making me not want to sell it again.
Should I just switch the conversation? We talk about what went south when all our gear was completely wet because
we didn't check the weather.
Yeah, we didn't check the weather, and we were and no one wanted to stop it, and we we gunned through the waves. It was crazy. No, but this actually
test.
It was a good. Oh my God, good test, to say the least. Like, on the video, I think it doesn't even come across how wild this was. Like, without the seats that you have in there with the Olsson, we would have none of us would have a back anymore. Like, it was crazy.
No, Hans was worried.
Yeah, he was really worried. Yeah,
good thing Frederick was in there.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was an adventure.
Oh my God, it was so good. Captain Jon Olsson. Remember
Captain
that?
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Just to round it up, but that's something that was super inspiring to see because you really, like, there's so many details that we actually haven't. We tried to show it in the vlogs, but so many details.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing, and the quality of it as well, very inspiring. Like just everything from the ropes, you know, and like just the branding, and it was awesome. It was really awesome.
I mean, it's been a lot of work, a lot of headache,
Yeah.
a lot of money. But again, I think when I'm 70 years old, I'll look back and I will be just stoked that I sort of had the guts to just go for what I felt was my dream at the time.
Yeah. Since we talked before about houses, I think you obviously moved to Sweden and you bought a lot that was, how expensive was the lot?
We're talking a lot about money.
But I think that's the thing that I think
I mean,
a lot
that
of
sells,
people.
right?
Yeah. No, but I also think that a lot of people are so curious how you even made all that money.
Well, I mean, that stuff's all public. So that was 4 million euros for the lot.
Okay.
And then that was a lot to start with. And then we all know interest rates shot through the roof. And I didn't have fixed interest rates because we weren't able to have that as we weren't living in Sweden. I don't remember exactly why it was, but we weren't able to have that. I've always liked fixed interest rates.
Yeah.
So interest rates, just went skyrocketing. And then we throw a divorce in the mix. So first with the divorce, you double the cost monthly.
Yeah.
And then interest rates. Let's just say that my monthly fixed cost. Hopefully I'll have a lot of working motivation left in me because
it's quite high, to say the least.
Yeah.
But you're also not building an ordinary house there. Like the house, how big is one of the houses? Or how big it's gonna be?
I actually got an email. I just saw what it was in, and it was actually the budget for the 2 houses that I'm building first.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh my God.
So I mean, but I keep always going back to, is this a risky investment?
Yeah.
And then when I look at the land, what is available through Stockholm, like the way I found that land was going in Google Earth, like all along the coastline, seeing like, what's the wind direction, what's the wind history of different months of direction, where does the sun set in different times of the year. So
oh my God.
Same with the boat. Like whenever I do something, I go so deep. I even read about the land from, when the Vikings first inhabited that land. That's how far back I went on the research. And then, going back closer to that. So I think whatever I put into this property, I hope I'll never have to sell it ever. But I think if I would have to sell it, I could, quite easily make a solid profit on it. But
as well.
But I always come back to like, okay, I can spend this because if I would sell, it would sort of, if I spend €1, I'll get €2 back if I sell. But again, I could have just gone normal with the house and hired someone to draw the house, make the garden, do all that. And I started working with AML on the house design. But then same as the boat, I kept, going out there at 4 a.m., looking at the sun, listening to like, where the sounds were coming from and imagining myself living there. So I had so many ideas that I was like, you know what? I want to draw the house myself.
Which was another
2,500 hours in the 3D program.
That's insane.
And that's excluding like 2,500 hours. I don't even know how that relates to like working weeks.
No, you can't compare that. And I remember that every day I woke up, you were already up at 4 and stuff, and then you were like laying on the couch, like working
testing
everything.
Because then in order to draw the house, I had to learn every single construction rule there is in Sweden. Like, because in Sweden, you can't just draw a house. It's like 1 billion rules.
Yeah.
So then I had to first study every single building rule and then learn how to work with the 3D program, 3D scan the whole lot, build that, check where the branches of the oak tree was, move everything around. And I drew all 3 houses on a 2.4 meter grid. So if I moved one house, I had to move all 3. So it's all kind of connected. And then with the land, you know, I've kept saying that, okay, I'm going to hire someone to do, you know, the football field and like all this stuff.
No, we are doing it.
And I was in that excavator last night, like, so it's really, I love being hands-on in all the projects that I'm in. And when I say hands-on, it's not like show up to a board meeting once a month. It's like, I prefer, it's the same thing in Marbella. Like the reason we could do a good investment there was that I dove into every single detail. Like if we were building a new fence, I was like, well, what's the cost if we build the fence 2 meters high in metal versus concrete?
Yeah.
Or a meter concrete and then a meter metal. So I would question every single thing we did in the house to try and figure out how to get the most bang for the buck.
Wow, that's insane.
And there it worked really well. I think I could have probably gotten a result quicker in the current Stockholm property if I hired someone.
Yeah.
It would probably cost me less. But on the other hand, I love the fact that I can be that guy. Because I was never that guy that knew how to operate every machine.
Yeah.
But to know that I can just go out with a key, jump in an excavator.
Yeah.
You know, I like... Well, I want to become a handyman.
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with a lot of things, but to have a snowcat, an excavator, and knowing how to operate them, I like that.
I think that's pretty
so
cool.
That's worth quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I think it's, you also, yeah, can we say that you're also looking for buying another one?
Buying another
excavator? Because you want to have not only one, you said the other day you want two, if this is even accurate now.
We're looking into it.
That's cool, because then you know, we can do it together. Yes, exactly. We can have two together. Because I also like kind of got quickly addicted. I remember the first time you got one, I'm like, no, I can't see this actually being so much fun because everything was so slow. But when you do it yourself and you teach me a few things, I was like, okay, this is actually a lot of fun. And it's so you have to think 5 steps ahead on where to move what, and like I really enjoy this as well. So that's
like meditation.
It's really like meditation. It's awesome. I really like it.
Yeah, and then I mean the reason why I wanted to build or buy a lot that was that big was that.
How big is it actually?
17,000 square meters.
And how big will the houses be?
So what's being built first is one house of 550 square meters and one at 350.
Oh, it sounds like a very small project.
So yeah, the initial build phase is 900 square meters.
Wow, that's insane.
So we're going from a house that has a leaking ceiling where the kids can just go completely mental. Because I mean, the house that we live in, it might look okay, but
it's wild. It's really old.
It's like a really crappy house.
I have lived there, and I will say that this...
you can feel some spots in the floor. It's like a bit soft. And
I remember I was like staying there, and you were, I guess,
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I went into your bedroom because I heard like, and I was like, maybe I should call you. And your whole bed and everything was all wet. I'm like, I think we have a hole in the roof. And then I sent the picture to you or to Yanni, and I was insane. It was like out of the blue as well. And the water was everywhere. I remember that because we fixed the house, and then around September 2 years ago, we no one stayed there. So in the summer, we most of the days had really good weather.
I mean, when we bought the property, we bought a piece of land.
Yeah.
And we never even considered that you could actually stay in the house.
It was so freestyle.
And then the reason we ended up fixing it up a bit was because we were renting a Airbnb.
Yeah.
And it was so damn expensive. I'm like, well, can we just fix up the house that we own, and you and Jeremy could stay there?
Yeah, exactly.
So we went there and had the lie, whatever that's called in English.
I have no idea, but it was
disgusting.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
And they bought the cheapest IKEA furniture just so that there was something.
Sleeping on air mattresses as well.
Yeah,
everyone got one.
And at that point, the idea was never to stay in there. And then but we can fix a bit more. And I mean, now it's
really nice. No, it's really nice.
It's a nice house.
Yeah,
minus the leaking in the ceiling.
And sometimes, like when we built the whole slope. You also had zero electricity, no warm water for how long? At least for a week or something. It was really, really bad.
Yeah, but the top priority was making the snow gun keep running and running and running. So yeah, having the snow gun that shot a lot of the fuses.
Every time, pretty much. I remember editing and I had to put a jacket on. I literally didn't even change my clothes when I come from outside into the house. It was really cold.
Yeah. But we got the ski slope going.
Yeah.
But what I was going to come to, having a big place like that was because I wanted to try and do whatever I could to get my kids to be physically active and do whatever I could to try to minimize computer and TV game and screen time.
Yeah.
And I think we've stayed true to that concept so far.
Yeah.
Almost killing ourselves in the process with the playland, the ski slope, the slide, but I like it.
I couldn't agree more to that. I think you're really doing a great job, even though every time I come to you, there's always, most of the time when the kids are here, it's a full-on bomb.
But it's important, like, I can clean, like,
I know.
spotless at night. And by like 7:15 in the morning, it looks like a burglar was in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I remember my mom used to tell me that because she was at home with me and my brother, and she was also cooking everything. She was making the lemonade from the berries she picked. She was baking the bread. She was sewing our clothing. And I'm like, how did you survive?
That's insane.
And she's like, well, I mean, let's just say we didn't really have an organized home.
Yeah.
And she told me like they had friends come over and they later heard like, it was so incredibly messy. But it was actually like pretty nice, like good atmosphere and like good vibe.
That's cool. I think your mom is, and you're both parents. Yeah, you're not coming from a rich family, first of all, to say the least. I think
Rich in love.
Yeah, rich in love, but not financially like crazy wealthy. I mean, I met them so many times and I really think that they are super inspirational. I mean, the energy that they have. Me and you together with 10 Red Bulls, we don't even have that.
No, never
so
seen my
inspiring.
mom stressed or tired.
Yeah.
She's just a machine. So yeah, they are really my role models when it comes to parenting.
Yeah.
So if I can do things half as good as they did, I will be very happy.
Since we talked about houses, I watched Yanni's podcast since, I understand a bit of Swedish. Actually, I understand a lot Swedish. I can't just speak it yet. She talked about the break-in in Marbella. Like, you never really mentioned it in any vlog either. Why did you never mention that? What was that all about?
I don't know why we really never mentioned it, but for those of you who doesn't know Swedish, we had at Casa Castle, we had a break-in when Leon was two weeks old, and like Yanni was breastfeeding him, and then all of a sudden she wakes me up and I hear the alarm go off. So I'm like, I run out naked, like out of the bedroom, and I see a window open. I'm like, that's weird, when you're not fully awake.
Yeah.
And then I look at the surveillance cameras and I'm like, maybe it's windy out. Because when you're not fully awake, you're not the brightest.
Yeah.
So I close the window and I'm like, and in the morning I wake up and I'm like, so I check the security camera footage and I'm like, oh my God. We see 3 masked men entering the building. And somehow the alarm that we had a malfunctioning door, so that normally if you put the alarm on and something's open, the system will tell you.
Yeah.
But then one door wasn't fully locked, but the system didn't tell us. So somehow they managed to, I think, that wasn't closed. So they opened, like, oh, sweet, no alarm. So they go in and they spend, I think it was like 10 minutes in the house. Luckily, though, they never came into the bedroom, because that would have been like waking up by someone in your bedroom. That's kind of my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to leave the quickest way. So they opened the window next to the entrance door. And that's when the alarm went off. So if they would have exited the same way...
You wouldn't know.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, they spent quite a bit of time looking through everything. And what they ended up taking actually was the red camera.
No.
No. And another like 1.2 lens.
Yeah, that's all we care
about. So they knew what they're...
At least
because there was that whole, camera wall down there.
Yeah, exactly.
With like all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
And they only took the right thing. And then Giannis Hublot. But I think after that, none of us really felt...
comfortable and safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why you guys also moved to Cyprus, I know.
Yeah, and I mean, Richard had a little, if you've heard podcasts with him, then you'd know that quite a few of his houses, like, he's been robbed a few times
Oh, okay.
with gas and like all that stuff.
What? I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Makes sense why you guys.
That's where we're like, you know, that's it.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Especially with kids as well. Like, I mean, Leon, 2 weeks old. Like, imagine with Leah.
Yeah, and then we got like this super duper Uber security system, security doors and all this stuff. But I think, I mean, it was partly because of the break-in, but also how Marbella, I think, changed a bit, and we'd been there for quite a while. So that was just time for something new.
I agree.
And then I'm not sentimental. Like if I do something, sure, that house was pretty epic.
It was beautiful. Stunning.
Yeah, but I keep seeing the things that weren't finished that I wanted to build and do, and yeah, so.
And why Cyprus then?
So I've lived in Monaco for 15 years. We had a house in Spain, so we went there for summer, for Christmas, and a bit here and there. And then we gave birth in Spain as well.
Yeah.
Came back to Monaco with 2 kids, and the apartment cost there is pretty. I mean, a 1-bedroom apartment that we stayed in, I think, was 8,000 or 9,000 euros a month.
Wow.
And the equivalent of that cost would give you an oceanfront villa in Cyprus.
That's crazy.
So then we're like, well, Richard moved over there, and we kept getting videos, like, and it looks, I mean, it's an insanely beautiful place.
Really beautiful.
So we're like, well, I'd never been to Cyprus. Like, packed everything up,
Oh my God.
threw it in a private jet, and like, here we come. Like, landed in Cyprus, going from the airport. We're going in the taxi. I'm like, this is not what I thought Cyprus was. 'Cause in Cyprus, you have very nice places, and then you have places that look more like Indonesia.
Yeah.
Crappy roads and like old, you know, like these old commercial signs. And I was like, I remember being in the taxi like, this is an aggressive move, like moving to a country that I've never been. I don't really know anything about. And just arriving like, hey, we're going to live here. And then we realized beautiful, yes. Weather, perfect.
Yeah.
But pretty far from friends and family.
Yeah. I think that was always a bit of a stretch for everyone who, like, especially parents and like everyone who lived in Sweden. I think it's a pretty.
Yeah, it's not the best place to fly to. So,
yeah.
You know, nice that we tried it.
Yeah.
And then, been there, done that. And now back in Sweden, everyone's like, how do you handle the winter? Can you handle the dark, the cold? You know, I love making fires.
Yeah. Plus building slopes.
Building slopes.
Yeah.
No, it's a different kind of life. But the beauty of having a YouTube channel is that we can actually sort of putting things in place for the kids. We can turn that into work. Because if I had a normal job, I could never spend the time that I do on a ski slope or on the slide, playland. Whereas now we can combine the two. And I think currently that's almost the best part about YouTube, that we can combine creating dream activities for the kids with work.
And then someday we also throw some trips and nice events in there in between. Yeah,
I mean, now we're trying to. I've been like 100% dad because, I mean, I have no FOMO. Like I've done everything that I want to do. Like I even invite the daycare lady and all her kids, where Leon and Leia goes, to come and play at our place.
Yeah.
So, Nette's like,
invested.
You're kind of weird. You're building everything at home that most people like, oh, it's nice. We can leave the house with the kids, go do this and this and this. But you're instead building everything at home. So you never have to leave. I'm like, yeah. So I'm working on trying to find more of a balance in life. Not been my strongest side.
I think everything, that sounds, I mean, I know it obviously, but it sounds like everything you do, you go 150% in. Vlogs, douchebags, I mean, every kind of company you started, I think you always went in like 150%.
Yeah, I think that's the ADHD. Doing something, you do it all the way, you do it right.
But yeah, now you also have a new girlfriend.
That I do.
Yeah, for everyone not knowing her, and obviously I have seen her comments, she's literally like like Yoon, just in a female version. Like you guys really fit well together, and she's awesome. I really like her. But you both are like, she's literally like you. That's so crazy.
We keep talking about how did this actually happen, like, you know, a random Instagram DM.
Yeah.
Because the way it happened was that I saw that she started following me. I was like, yeah, but I know her because she's really one of the OG influencers, like doing a vlog long before the word influencer was invented. So a blog, sorry.
Yeah. A blog,
Yes.
yeah, she will start blogging as well.
Yeah, I like blogs. Yeah, well, vlogs, she's pretty funny actually sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So yeah, she was doing that. So obviously I knew of her before.
Yeah.
So she started following me, and I was like, I looked at him like,
Interesting.
And then so a while later, I sent her DM out of the blue, and we started talking.
Yeah.
And then later, apparently, I somehow randomly liked a picture of hers. So that's why she started following me. So she thought I took the first step. I thought she did because I didn't really pay attention that I liked the photo.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God.
And we started talking, and I invited her. I was like, "You seem really super cool."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, let's go on a date." And she was, well, I mean, really, we should do a podcast when she's here so we can tell the story together.
Yeah, it would be
we
really
shouldn't go in too much into detail in this one. But yeah, we ended up started dating. And then first time I met her parents, her mom was like, "So what's your plan? Like, how are you guys going to figure out? You live in Norway, you have 2 kids in Norway and an ex in Norway.
Yeah.
You live in Sweden, you have 2 kids in Sweden and an ex in Sweden.
Yeah.
So you guys are more or less screwed." I'm like, I liked your directness.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But my reply was, I like driving.
Yeah, that you do.
And now 40, 50,000 kilometers later over the winter, it's actually not an issue whatsoever. The only issue is that we have been able to schedule it in a way where we've been together every single day, well, more or less every hour, except for now.
Yeah, except for now.
For like, I don't know, how is it 7, 8 weeks now?
Yeah, something like that. 100%.
So now when school starts, because her kids are 5 and 6.
Oh, yes, exactly.
So
starts in August, right?
Yeah, our oldest. So then we're not going to do every day, which sucks. Because
you guys really got used to it now, I think, as well.
Yeah, we're so corny.
You are way too much. Like, I
Yeah, we
don't
make
want
you
to say too much.
uncomfortable 10 times a day.
I don't want to go into that. I think it's a bit too private, but yeah, I know more than I should. No, but I really think I'm really happy for you, and I also say it now on camera. I always tell you that in person. So I'm really happy for you that you found someone that works for, and also like that you and Yanni are still really good friends, and that you guys are really, when Yanni needs to travel, you take care of the kids, and the other way around. So I think you really both are doing a great job. And also for your new relationship, I'm also really happy for you because
I think
so much energy. You brought so much energy back, and I see that as well when we film and everything. Like just also work-wise, mental health is really important and all that. Been not easy the last 2 years, to say the least. So I'm really happy for you.
Me too. Because it hasn't been easy the last 2 years. Yeah, it's been,
Oh my God.
I can see like on some of the businesses I've worked on, and like, it's like really a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like thrown out there, like, what happens now? Like, divorced? What? Huh?
Yeah.
Like,
course.
not every day with the kids. And that was to me kind of disaster. Whereas now I start to realize that, all right, not every day, but then it means I can really bring more of my A game and enjoy it in a way. I think there's pros and cons to every way you have a relationship. But now it's, it works fantastic.
What do you think? Should we talk about the cars maybe the next time?
Yeah, I think we should save relation. Well, I mean, that is if people don't hate what we're doing, like who knows? Yeah. But if people are interested of us doing more of these, then I think relationship we should maybe bring Net on. Because she used to have a podcast, so she's used to it.
I think in the front of the camera, people really get the complete wrong picture of her. Like when I met her the first time, we got along like this. It was really so easy,
super easy,
very likable, like you.
I think she's a bit nicer.
Yeah, she's cooler.
No, she is fantastic. Simple
but
as
both
that.
of you are so cocky. It's insane. The confident level since you date her is like when we talk. So I used to always make fun of you, and I used to push, and like when we went out for a run, and this is maybe also a story for itself for another day. But I really pushed you a lot, and then we both gave us so much shit the whole time, and so much more behind the camera than any time in front of the camera. But since you dated her, like, I don't know you anymore when it comes to this. I'm not.
Well, when you meet someone where you're like completely matching in every way,
Yeah.
it brings you up in every possible way, which is really nice. So
Yeah.
I bring her up, she brings me up, and we all think we're the greatest thing that's ever lived on Earth. But
It's really
luckily, well, everyone probably wouldn't agree. But since we both agree on each end,
Yeah.
it's it's good.
That's awesome.
Keep getting fed with positive feedback.
I think that we should end this podcast here.
This being the first one, I think it's good to maybe not go 7 more hours.
Yeah.
Because now we can edit, look, and see if we are terrible, if sound's off, or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's the
is
first
okay.
time, so also like question and everything. I do this for the first time, so I'm not a pro.
No, we're not that prepared.
No.
It's not like we had like a full on like let's do
I
this and this.
actually-
I actually thought
did.
about a bit about it in the car on the way over.
You did.
Yeah, like a little bit.
I was fully prepared, but this is typical me. I'm fully prepared, and then I didn't even look once. So it's great.
No, but I mean that's the beauty with a vlog. A podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be I mean, I like this. I
Yeah.
actually enjoy it because I feel like I can tell a story the right way and
Yeah.
not just a short, entertaining way.
Yeah. Plus, it's always hectic. I think that's so different.
Yeah.
There's
And you
always
have
no
to-
time.
A vlog, people want it short pace, otherwise
Yeah.
they drop out, and it's bad for the algorithm. And
Exactly.
and this is kind of nice, just doing it the way we like, and then we'll see how things work.
Now you can go back to your vlog.
Should we go back to vlog mode?
Yes.
Well, now I stumble on the vlog part. Well, I hope you guys liked the first potential more podcast vlogs. And please let us know if there's deeper conversation about different things that would be interesting, which direction we should take things. And yeah, that's it. End the story. It's time for me to go back to entertaining 4 kids. We're going to go buy ice cream because it's a beautiful sunny day out.
Oh my god.
And then tomorrow afternoon, we drive with Netta and her kids to Oslo. And the day after that, we fly to the Maldives.
I was about to ask you.
You know, getting out of the house.
Yeah. Oh my god. Getting out of the house. Yeah, sure. Flying to the Maldives. Going out of the house. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
that's
quite
amazing.
excited.
But you
It's like
guys
the
need
first adult trip that I've been to in a very, very long time.
That's why I'm saying I think you guys really need that. That's good.
We really need it.
No, I wanted to come, but tickets was too pricey.
You might have experienced a little bit of a third wheeling experience.
No, I will just act like I don't know you guys. That's it. Like I
You're
just
like, ciao.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I'm on the island, bye. See you later.
Maybe someone listening can help us make a version of Joe Rogan's intro.
That would be awesome. Yes.
If anyone's, well, I mean, we are in an audio studio, so
Yeah. Really quickly before we end, I just want to say also thank you that we got the studio from Load. Just
yeah.
amazing people, so that we can use that. We will
So it's
probably use
not
that a
at
lot
home
more.
at the kitchen table with the kids
exactly,
running around.
Exactly. So that's awesome. But
But-
now we should cut. Jun, we have to end. This is so weird because we keep on talking.
Yeah, but we should do a collab next. Vlog.
Oh my god.
You know, we talked about the fact that we should optimize opportunities here.
Yes, exactly.
Now we did another one. Like we haven't done.
You should.
Gotta make that money.
Okay.
No, we don't.
Time to go. Awesome. Good job, Jun.
Back to action.